Welcome to Cinderella Has Cellulite, a show about love, romance, and how to make it all last. Relationship expert Donna R. Weitzman draws on her years of experience in and out of the dating game to unwrap the mysteries behind the all-too-familiar fairy tale. Tune in to find out the secrets behind first dates, second marriages, and everything in between. From his friends and her friends to X's and O's. This is Cinderella Has Cellulite. And now, your host, Donna R. Weitzman.
Hey, Zach!
Hey,
Zach,
Donna.
Are you in today?
I am in like Flynn, Donna. So ready to go.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
We usually do this on Monday.
We usually do this on Monday.
But it was my fault. I could not do it on Monday, and therefore we are doing it on Friday.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to cover for you. Be like, yeah, we had some kind of scheduling something, and we couldn't make it happen. But I appreciate you taking the fall for your own podcast.
Well, I will always do that, Zach. I have wide shoulders.
It's very big of you. How's your week been so far?
My week's been crazy.
Yeah, what's up?
Crazy. I can't even remember what all I've done. But one thing I am doing is I am going to Chicago to Sunday to do a book signing in Chicago.
In Chicago?
Monday.
You're signing books now?
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, gosh.
Cinderella is very popular on the Magnificent Mile.
The Windy City.
The Magnificent Mile is some great shopping. There's
Really?
a lot of pink shoes up in Chicago.
I spent a little bit of time over there. I was a big fan of the art museum. Oh gosh,
they have
tremendous.
is it the Field Museum? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah. It's really, they have some great museums in Chicago. It's a great town.
I was so enamored with the art. I missed the name on the way in. Have you spent a lot of time over there?
In Chicago?
Yeah.
I used to, when I was working professionally, I spent a lot of time in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
But not so much in the last 5 or 6 years, so I'm excited to go back. Especially this time of year. I'd not be so excited if it was January. Sorry, Chicagoans.
Yeah, it gets particularly cold over that way.
Oh, yes, it does.
A couple Christmases ago, we took a day trip out to Chicago, and man, it was great. But towards the evening, when we were walking back to the car, man, that wind just barrels through the city.
Boy, it does. But that's Chicago people are so nice.
They are.
They're really nice people.
Yeah.
And they've had a lot of trouble with some crime, but I think they're getting their arms around it, and it's going to be, it's one of the great cities.
It's not too shabby. There's a lot of cities worth talking about.
Yeah. Well, this week's been kind of depressing to me because we've had some really, really sad stories coming out of the press.
Yeah.
First Kate Spade, and then, of course, Anthony Bourdain.
Yes, much more recently. That was today. Anthony Bourdain was announced.
And he was in Paris, I think, or France.
France.
Maybe France.
Yeah, filming an episode of a show, Parts Unknown. It's really a bummer. First, I want to talk about, just real briefly, because I don't want to spend too much time on this, Kate Spade.
Yeah.
Kate Spade is an interesting character to me because as a relatively young man in growing up in America, she's always been a name on a bag. That's all I've ever known her to be. But a lot of bags.
A lot of bags.
A lot of bags. I mean, Kate Spade, I saw the headline and thought, I know that. I don't know where. I don't know if I've seen her in a movie, and then I remembered, oh yeah.
I don't know how
Fashion.
I know her, but yeah.
Where is Kate Spade in the world of fashion?
Well, Kate, this is my opinion, but of course the haute couture would be more like Oscar de la Renta and Carolina Herrera and Stella McCartney and those names, Armani, Versace.
Sure.
And then a couple of rungs under that would be Kate Spade. But she sells to all of us regular people.
Right. Like a middle class-ish kind of.
I doubt, and I'm sorry she might, but I doubt Kim Kardashian has a Kate Spade bag.
Right.
She's
not quite that level of society.
I doubt that. Now, Kim, if you're listening to us, first of all, we're delighted that you are. And secondly, we would love to know if you do own a Kate Spade bag, and if you would give it to charity, we will auction that off.
Oh, wow.
Don't you? And we'll give it to the Suicide and Crisis Center. We have a very active group in Dallas, and we may have many, but I'm very familiar with Yvonne Crum and what she has done for the Suicide and Crisis Center here in Dallas.
Wow, I didn't know that was like a
It's a big.
We had a big something
and
here,
it's getting bigger, and it's needed. So it's really important if you're out there and you feel depression and you have any kind of mental illness that you want to talk about, or maybe you don't want to talk about it, but it's leading you to feel like life is not worth it anymore. Then it is worth it, because we all love you and we all have loved ones.
Well said. Were you a big Anthony Bourdain fan?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I had not seen much of his work, but I'd always known the name. Similarly, Parts Unknown. I mean, that's more recent work, but it's so odd to see something like that, because Anthony Bourdain has always been one of those people professionally that I put on a pedestal. Because what a job!
What a great
job!
Yeah,
you are paid
to eat
a ton of money to travel and eat and see sights and talk about them and teach people who maybe can't go do those things about the wonders of the world.
Plus, he seemed
incredible.
like every man. He was so approachable, and boy, could he weave a story.
Sure.
He was a great storyteller.
Yeah, it's a solemn reminder, like, that you may not really.
Yeah.
All that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
Like, we don't truly know people.
And that's why, again, I can't say this enough, and I think we all need to. I was actually talking to my 31-year-old, I guess he's 32 now, my 32-year-old son today, and we were talking about, I have two sons, and I always tell my sons, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, do something about it. Take medication, work out, get out in the sun, try to do something, and talk to your friends or to your mother about it.
Right.
It's really important not to cover it up.
Right. It's okay to feel however you feel. Everybody's
is.
brain is wired differently. If you feel different than everybody else, that's all right. The best thing to do is understand that and figure out how best to go forward.
And a lot of depression is chemical. It's chemical imbalance.
Sure.
It's a physical problem. We think of it as only emotional or mental or psychological, but a lot of it is physical problems. Thyroid patients often have depression. Heart patients have depression. So there's chemical imbalance, there's hormonal imbalance. We've got to start really talking about the reasons for this.
I agree. We should. And unfortunately, Cinderella Cellulite may not be the place to have those deep conversations. We should get to something lighter, I think, maybe.
Well,
it was
let's
pretty dark
talk
opening.
about, as long as we're talking about famous people, and I mentioned Kim Kardashian, and she went to the White House, I was a little upset that she wore that black dress.
That's what got you? Kim Kardashian goes to the White House in the black dress?
I just don't want her in a black dress going to the White House. It made me depressed a little bit, not terribly.
Sure.
But,
I had kind of missed that. I saw the photo in passing, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of those things. In the age of the 24-hour news cycle, I saw and went, okay, and just
there she is,
right past it. Yeah, great. What's next around the corner? Like, I can't keep up anymore.
Sorry.
If you can,
got to do a little fashion on Cinderella.
I appreciate that you took the time. Really.
I did. I wanted her in a white dress. I don't know why. It was just my own opinion. I wanted her to look angelic.
If Donna Arp Weitzman were to visit the White House,
I would wear
the home
cream.
of the president, you'd wear cream.
You've
already got it worked out. I love it.
I would wear cream. I know I would.
Why cream?
Because it's not totally angelic. Because I'm certainly not totally angelic.
Sure.
But it's clean. And it's fresh.
Yeah.
And it's forward thinking.
It was clearly a choice to wear black.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, I think it was certainly more than like waking up and looking in the closet like, what am I going to wear today? It was like, I'm going to the White House. I'm going to take photos.
You got to think about going to the White House.
Right.
I mean, you can't just get up and put your woolies on, you know?
I guess we can't be surprised Kim Kardashian had to go
and wear black.
Swim upstream and go a different way and wear black. Yeah. Sure.
Well, I'm going to ask, first of all, Zach, we're so fortunate to have, how often do you have a bachelor on your show?
Not all the time.
That, number one, is beginning his dating cycle.
Ooh.
Number two is a fabulous entrepreneur. Number three is well-spoken, because I spoke to him before we got on air. And I'm sorry, yes, I'm being Rudy Giuliani, but he is handsome.
Ooh, all right.
I don't mean to pick on, handsome, not handsome, blah, 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 blah. But he is a handsome guy.
Is Mr. Giuliani commonly known for calling people handsome?
No, I think he's known for calling women...
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Michael Holmes, of course, sitting with us. Yeah.
Hey,
we do get into all kinds of things. Welcome, Michael Holmes.
Thank you very much.
Michael is from Dallas.
I am.
Tell us about you.
Well, I moved here in '97 after college.
Where are you from originally?
Originally from Virginia, but I grew up in San Antonio.
Oh, Oh, okay. Great places, both of them.
It's a great place.
How'd you
Sure.
make the leap from Virginia to San Antonio?
Well, I couldn't stay because I was too young. I wanted to stay on our farm, but my dad got transferred to San Antonio, so that's where we.
Was he a military guy?
He was. He was Army.
Because that sounds kind of military-ish to go
Yep.
from there to there.
Yeah, and I'm former Air Force myself, 6 years.
You're so clean cut. I thought maybe you were like, yeah, look at your posture. For those of you who can see us out there, if we're on, I think we're on Facebook Live.
Yes.
I mean, this guy has great posture, right?
Definitely. And thank you for your service.
Yeah.
No, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
They teach you that, right? In the military, you got to sit up straight.
They try their best. I would say that. They
It's
try
one
their
of those
best.
things that gets worked
Some
in
people,
somewhere.
some people are better than others, that's for sure.
And you were in the military 6 years?
I was 6
And,
years.
and then you became an entrepreneur? Or
No, then
tell,
I went to-
tell us how you did that.
No, I put myself through college. Started at Southwest Texas, moved to North Texas.
Okay. Two great schools and two good party schools.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Then I did a semester over in Sheffield, England, University of Sheffield. Came back to North Texas. Did research over in Ghana, Africa, 3 different universities over there.
Wow.
Came back to North Texas, and I graduated with my degrees in geography and mathematics.
Oh, geography. You must have been touched by Anthony Bourdain as well then.
I did. Yeah, it's amazing when you're watching him. You're like, I want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
no
I've
matter
been there.
where,
I didn't even see that.
no matter where it is, right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
So, and you got your degrees in geography and
Mathematics.
And did you become a teacher?
No, I wanted to just graduate from college, and then I was really
I
good
love
at
your
both
honesty.
of those.
I love your honesty.
Yeah, I was really good at both, and the one of the thing was I didn't take any foreign language, so I went to my guidance counselor and I was like, I have to take this whole semester of Spanish or French or something. She was like, No, Michael, don't you understand? You've taken the hardest, foreign language possible, which is mathematics. So I didn't have. So I didn't have to.
Wow.
That cuts across all.
It did.
All languages,
All languages.
doesn't it?
All languages.
Yeah, it's a universal language. And so you ended up in Dallas because of being at North Texas, right?
Yes. I have a twin brother, and he was working in this.
Lucky world out
That's
there,
right.
girls.
That's right. He's taken though. He wasn't for a long time, but now he is. So he was working in this industry that I have a company in right now, and I was like, "What? You're making copies for law firms, and you're making how much?" I was like, "Get out of here." So I went down and hung out with him for the day, and the general manager hired me, and
What year was this, Mike?
that was '96, and I had 1 year left.
Okay.
And so I graduated in '97, and I moved down with my brother and started my career in the litigation support company.
Okay, so you're the one behind the scenes for all these lawsuits. And you're putting all the papers together and organizing and right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So we have several different, verticals. We have an analog, which is copying, scanning, and blowbacks, which is taken from a digital format to hard copy.
Okay.
So we say we're on a case from file to trial.
Okay.
So the start of the case to the going in to the we go in with our clients into battle where we're in the hot seat too.
So I didn't know this, but law firms and attorneys, they actually hire a firm to take care of all of that. They don't do it in-house.
Well, some do, but for the larger cases, it's not cost effective for them. Because we deal with millions and millions and millions of pages or documents
Wow.
on any one particular case.
So let's say you're going to scrub my emails. Okay. And I think I had 68,000 the last I looked.
68,000 emails? Donnie, you got to clean out that spam inbox.
I cleaned out 30,000 of them.
30? You cleaned out 30,000? You had 68,000 left? 98,000 emails.
The last time I started cleaning them out.
Truly,
Just go in there, mark them all
an
red.
author. There you go.
Just mark them all red, and you'll be done with it.
Just, mark all
Oh,
red.
no,
Done.
I want to save some.
Sure.
How long would it take you to organize my emails?
It's a different way of we have to think about it.
Okay.
So you have to forensically collect that data.
Okay.
So you're making a copy of it. And then
Forensic sounds bad.
forensic. Well, it's think of Hillary Clinton and the FBI, right? So the FBI would hire us to go in and collect that data from phones, tablets, PCs, servers, World Wide Web, from everything, and then basically we process that, normalize that data, and then dedupe it. So
What does dedupe it mean?
So let's say you have 10 people on an email chain, right?
Okay.
And you're all sending emails back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, you only need one chain of that emails. You don't need everybody else's.
Oh, because it connects you all as you
Correct.
go down.
So you just dedupe it to one chain.
I see.
So that
I see.
way you're getting rid of, you're not reviewing the same document over and over again.
Do you do it mostly for private industry or government or both?
For both.
For both.
Yeah.
Okay.
All regulatory agencies FBI, some of them FINRA, SEC, DOJ. So we're wherever they need us.
Wow. Okay, that's one business, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's really
Now go to
interesting.
number 2. This guy is a serial entrepreneur.
That's right. My next one is called Cullable, and it basically has automated the e-discovery process. So we just launched it earlier this year. It's in beta still, but for those, I don't know if you know what OCR is, optical character recognition. It basically makes the document searchable. So if you do it on your regular PC, it probably does about 20 pages a minute. Ours does 20,000 pages a minute.
And what does it do?
So,
What's the
do
outcome
you mind
of
if
it?
I don't
Go
know
ahead.
for sure, but essentially that's like if you took a photo of a piece of paper with some words on it, right?
Okay.
Well, your camera's not going to be able to know what those words are. It just snapped like an image, and what
Okay.
you're doing is creating a program that can recognize those words.
Correct.
And you can type them in, and it'll say, "Yep, here's that photo you took with those words."
Oh,
on
it
it
attaches the words to whatever.
Yeah, it recognizes
got
them,
it.
and yeah. So normally,
Recognizes,
Yeah,
got
so
it.
you're an entrepreneur yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
you know when you take a contract and you print it to a PDF and you send it so they can't change it.
Right.
Well, that has no OCR, and you basically got rid of all of the metadata. So we basically could OCR that, capture metadata, and apply it into a database.
You know, you could be really sneaky if you wanted to.
Of course.
It sounds like it. Yeah, sure.
You have the
I
capability.
could, but I don't.
I appreciate
I don't.
how
That's
quick
probably
you.
a very good thing not to.
That's right.
I
That's
appreciate how quick you were to say, "Oh, of course."
But then
I
I
thought
don't.
about it. Sure.
right.
Yeah.
Thought about
Right.
it, Yeah, no.
Then I don't.
No, of
Okay,
course
that's
not.
2. Now you have another company.
Well, it also does PDFs, but it also it's for big data databases. So we can actually process a terabyte in less than 8 minutes
Wow.
and normalize it. So that's one of the fastest, piece of software on the market right now.
So if you did
Minutes.
my email, Zach, it would only take him like 2 minutes.
Probably.
Less than that.
Less than 2
You
minutes.
probably only have about 20 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
68,000 emails, Donna.
Yeah, but he can do it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He can take my emails and
Sure.
organize them
Yeah.
in 2 minutes. That's scary. Now,
right.
number 4, 3 or 4.
Three. So 3 is called Forza Partners. We started off as an EB5 company.
Okay, for those of you who do or do not know, this EB5 is really an immigration
Bill number 5.
government funding program.
Wow.
It was established in 1999 by the federal government.
Okay.
So we take up, projects that are going on. Usually it's big projects, big dollar. And so the city of McKinney, the hotel that's next to it, we've funded that. We put in $27.5 million.
So this is equity. EB5 is equity.
That's correct.
So for you out there who are listening and you or your husband or wife want to have funding for real estate projects, primarily, this guy's got cash. So not only is he single, good looking, smart, he has cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had as much cash as I'm producing
Hey,
for
as
other
much
people.
as
that's
Donna
for
makes
sure.
it sound like you have.
Oh my
Sure.
gosh.
Yes.
You are a rare bird out
That's
there.
right. That's right.
And,
And I love
It's
cooking
true.
as well.
okay, and then the last one I know is a health food.
Right. It's called Yab. It's YAAB.
Yeah, as you said, yabba dabba doo.
Yabba Dabba Doo. That's
Yab.
right. So I bought it back in December, and so it's in Mexico. It's an all-natural fruit product. So it's mangoes, spicy mangoes, coconut, a tropical blend,
Yum.
which is mangoes, coconut, and pineapple. We also have another side of it where we're doing beet chips, that's the only salt that's in all of our products. We also have an onion that's kind of like a Funyun, but it's not fried, which is
Okay.
awesome.
Oh.
So they're slightly dehydrated, and so we have I bought the patents for that.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to raise enough money to bring the product into America right now. And so we're almost there.
Well, we have a very big entrepreneur in Dallas that you might go on his show, Mark Cuban.
Mark.
Sounds
I
like
know,
something
I
they would
know.
do.
It's one of the things where Shark Tank is a fabulous, for most entrepreneurs, but I don't want to give up any of the company if I can.
Oh, listen to this guy. Mark, I don't think you're going
Well,
to make a deal with this
But
one.
This
doesn't
is
mean
for-
that I can't talk to him.
Right. It's his fourth company. He knows what he's doing.
I do, but I do work. I've worked alongside Mark on several different of his projects.
Is he brilliant?
He has a great mind of business. That's for
Good.
sure.
We're glad to hear that.
And I think the most important thing is he has the right people in the right spots.
Well, that's brilliant in itself.
yeah. So, yeah, it's. I was lucky enough to have lunch with General Schwarzkopf, Storm and Norman
wow.
one time.
Wow.
And they're all like, you're the smartest guy in the room. And he said, let me stop you there. No, I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm the smartest of having the smartest people in those jobs where
Which
they
makes
need to
me
be.
smart.
Right. He goes, I'm just a good leader. So if you want to be successful, be a great leader. don't be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Because then you're doing all the work.
Have
You're
that
the smartest
guy work
person.
for you.
Right. So that's kind of how I run my business too. I'm not the smartest, but I'm a good leader.
Well, obviously, golly, what a recipe. Now, you're also not married.
I'm newly divorced.
Newly
correct.
divorced.
Yes.
And are you out there and
I am.
are you out and about?
I am in the dating land right now.
Tell us about that. Have you gone online at all? You know, 50% of all the people now go online.
I have. It's just, it's one of those things where I don't find anybody that I really want to go out with. I've had a couple dates.
Even online?
Even online. So it's more of like word of mouth, and I'm a big social networker, and so now people are finding me out that I am single, and they're asking me out, which is awesome.
What? The women are asking you? I love it, girls. Keep it up, ladies.
It's great.
Yeah. There's no reason, Zach. What do you think, Zach, about women asking guys out?
I think, just like the conversation a few weeks ago, we talked about having a wedding and figuring out a nice way to ask for cash. On the one hand, I respect where people come from when they say they shouldn't do that. Come on, the guy should be the first to do it. On the other hand, like, it's 2018. We live in a wacky time, all right? Like,
Really?
why not, right?
I totally agree.
What's wrong with that? Why not make love happen?
You know
right?
what?
Either party can initiate.
But most men, now this is a generalization, I know, for the listeners and the viewers, but a lot, let me say this, not most, many men would not like a woman asking them out. But it sounds like it's fine with you.
It's fine. So you have to
I
realize,
love it.
It's not just asking me out. It's more of like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Kind of pique my interest, right?
Right.
You have to show interest to enough to at least initiate the, well, what are you doing this weekend?
Sure.
Let's go on a date.
I love it.
Right? So
I love it.
you have to, I think it's the guys are always like, hey, let's go out. But it takes a woman to show that initiative of, at least the looking at you and sparkling your eyes and having a conversation.
So you like a self-motivated woman.
I do. I like smart women. I do.
So let's rank the qualities you like. Good looking, smart, motivated.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a ranking order or?
Oh, I think they're all different.
Okay.
It all depends on the person themselves.
Okay.
Because sometimes the smartness piques my interest more than looks.
Okay.
Or if it's what they're doing. I'm on the board for several nonprofits too, and it's giving back to the community, which is really important. It's not just the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's what you're doing with that as well.
that makes you beautiful. Right.
Sure.
Because you can have someone who's extremely gorgeous, but if they're not intelligent, that's someone that I can't have a conversation with.
Well, I'm kind of that way, all right, with guys. If they're totally narcissistic, my dog is narcissistic, but I like my dog. I can forgive
I've seen your dog's bed. He is narcissistic.
I can forgive my dog, but I cannot
awesome.
forgive a guy for being too narcissistic.
Right.
Well, is my coat too narcissistic?
No.
Oh my gosh, he
So
wore
I
it.
wore
Look
just
at
for you,
this,
for the
ladies.
pink.
I do like it.
Oh, I
For the
love
pink,
it.
It is
right?
sharp.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love the whole look, but when you open that up, that's even better.
Well, I wore because you like pink.
There's a little stripe in your shirt.
little accent.
He does his
loving it.
research.
I
Yeah.
am here's a guy that pays attention to detail. That's probably why you're so successful in business.
I am a detail-oriented person. So.
And plus, these businesses you have are very detail-oriented.
Yeah, they are.
So you have not found anyone online. Now tell us the tragedy of online. What do you not like about it?
Not to say that I haven't found anybody online, but I think the biggest issue with going online is that you only see a picture, and most people don't have the verbiage on there of what their background is and what they do. That's only half. That's maybe a 10th or a 15% of what I'm kind of looking for. You don't have what they sound like, right? Because
You can't look them in the eye.
Yeah, for the most part, you can look at these magazines of like beautiful women, right? But when you hear them first talk, you're like, oh my gosh, that's just ruined it for me.
There it goes.
Right?
It went away.
But it's they're putting up their best effort of showing the best pictures that they possibly
Yeah,
can.
probably a little doctored,
A little
course.
cherry
Yeah.
picking,
Yeah.
for sure.
And in the chap snat stuff where they're all like, the birds and the flowers in their hair. I'm just like, get out of here.
Yeah,
no,
pass.
swipe.
Who that's a woman thing. I'm sorry, but that's not a guy thing.
No.
Guys don't want to see that. They want to see what you look like without makeup and what you look like with makeup.
Right.
Right. Let's see you. What you're going to be looking like
In the morning.
on your day-to-day basis. Right.
Right.
In the morning.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly in the morning. You
At
know,
night.
I would, yeah, I would say, what do you do? What do you look like when you get home from work, right? Or
there
after
you go.
workout
there
or
you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah, that's good after a workout.
Right.
Well, Zach knows the numbers because we've talked about them, but only 10% of the people find someone permanently online. So out of every 100, only 10 find someone.
Sure.
So, you got to look a lot. You know, as I always say, you got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah, I'm not kissing any frogs.
And for a guy, they got to kiss a lot of, frogettes.
Well, 10% find permanent solutions. A lot of people find temporary success. And in the dating scheme, I think temporary success sometimes is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And of all of those people dating online, about 50% tell some kind of white lie.
Of course.
So
I'm sure they all do. You know, I love the one that
only
when
about
there's
50%.
I love it when they say, I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, like, you don't have a job.
Right.
That's what that means,
Fine
right?
line for an entrepreneur.
Yeah, an
and
entrepreneur
unemployed.
is, you're not successful.
I love
Right.
consultant the best.
Yeah,
That
I'm a
means
consult-
unemployed, generally.
Yeah, yeah,
Generally.
yeah. I look at it as, I don't know, I guess different, because I would love to see a video of someone talking. I think that would be a great app.
That's a great business.
Video would be sharp.
You know,
I think that's a
having
great
a video
business.
app where you can really see them, like she's shaking her head back there, right?
I think that is a great business to do.
Right.
Zach, there's a business.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Video
You
would
know.
be smart.
So, but I think that dating right now for me, it's a lot of fun, and but the thing is, it's also a chore.
It's so time consuming.
Sure.
You know, the last thing I want to do is hear myself say the same thing over and over and over again. You know, I'm a true salesperson myself, but when people go, "What do you do?" Just like you today, I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Here
I
go.
go."
Well, plus yours is
I've got it canned so well.
But you know what? Yours is complex.
Yeah.
It takes a pretty smart woman to understand what you do. I mean,
Yeah. What?
when you're talking about all these kinds of things, it's hard to describe that.
It's true.
I was out with some clients last night, and we're talking about global warming and all this other stuff, and what's the biggest issue that the United States faces, and it's really, our debt. And I'm
more so than cyber terrorism or.
Oh yeah, because you have to look at it in a different frame of mind. What people really don't understand when you start connecting the dots. So I'll ask a question: who won World War II? Do you know who won World War II?
Well, I think there were winners and losers.
Yeah, but
not
do you
just
really,
one
do you really
one
think,
country.
Do you really think that Russia won the war? Also, they lost more people than anybody else.
Sure.
They won it, but we came in last, so we had the most to gain.
Right.
Right, so we carved out what we wanted. We're the nice guys. We tell everybody what we're going to do, and then we do it. Russia and China does smoke and mirrors, and then they do what they want to. They're basically they have 100-year. China has a 100-year plan of what they're going to do, and they're executing
And they're
their plan
marching
perfectly.
toward that.
Right.
And China's got a system in place for that. They elect a leader, and they're in for a very long time.
Well,
ours are every 4 years.
Theirs is in for life.
Yes, right now it is.
Yeah,
So-
they voted him in for life.
Yeah.
So you have to look at what it really is, right? It's just like business. That's what, like, geography is the study of all history, all verticals. Where is this? So you can go for economics, birth rate, transportation, food, weather, disease migration. It's the history of everything, where it was, where it is now, and where it's going.
Tell us, and I know we're coming up on Zach's giving me hand signals over there, and he's not saying okay, he's saying 2 minutes.
I got it, Donna. I like the conversation. We're running out of time. I just want
I can go all day.
Yeah, I
I can
know.
go all day.
I apologize.
But I got to ask Michael, being a geography major and loving travel and the world and as you see it, because you have a very global knowledge, what is the most interesting thing that you think about when you think about it? Do you think about, what's going to happen to the Earth, gravity? I mean, what comes to your mind
I think
for your children and for your
Oh
grandchildren?
gosh, it's a big question, Donna.
Well, I've thought about this for a long time, and I think it's the economics right now that's going on, because our debt, and I'll go back to this, what you really don't understand is China is going into all these countries and providing them infrastructure.
Yeah, clean water.
Now they're stealing all of our IP. Now they're stealing, now the trade wars are going on, right? So they're stealing everything away from us and making us fight amongst each other. And also they're tattletelling on Russia that Russia's trying to do that too. So that takes our eye off China onto Russia. Why do you think they're stirring the pot? Why do you think they're like, oh, well, you know, Russia is all about the next or this past election? Well, Russia was on for both sides. They're just, it's all propaganda.
Well, plus doesn't China meddle too?
Yeah, but that's what they're doing. They're tattletelling on everybody else, so he takes the eye and their mind off of them. So, and you know, they're going into Africa is the last big spot of the country or the world that's going to have cheap labor.
And that's where that's where the Chinese are.
Yep.
They're bringing in clean water. We were in Africa last year. Lots of Chinese projects going on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots and lots.
So think about Australia too. They've basically have captured all the work around Australia, and now they're telling those countries, you can't buy these products from these other countries. You have to buy it from us. So now you think about it, though. I mean, it's this is what people aren't really talking about. What needs to be talked about.
Well, I don't want to go to China because I can't breathe when I go there. Their air quality is so bad. I've been there 3 times, and every time I get a sinus infection.
So yes, I've thought about, you know, when you were asking questions about this, because
Yeah.
I think about this stuff all the time, you know, and
Yeah. Well,
it's
your business lends you to, and your background lends you to. So, and I know we need some good volunteers, the federal government, to talk about this, but we'll tackle that another day.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Michael, you have been a delight. There are these guys out there, women, these good guys. They're out there. Keep looking. Read Cinderella Has Cellulite. Know what you're in for, and keep looking for the good guys because they are there.
I'm
Michael,
out there.
He is. Michael, you're a delight.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having me on the
thank
show.
you
I
for
appreciate
coming
it.
on the show.
My
We
pleasure.
love it. Zach,
Thanks
next
so much.
time.
Next time, Donna. We'll see ya.
Happy Father's Day. If we don't talk, we're out of here.
If we don't.